English Boost podcast from Speak English Journey.
Hello there, language adventurers, and welcome back to Speak English Journey. I'm Jessica. Today, we're diving into a topic that's close to many people's hearts and often sparks a lot of discussion: travel. Specifically, we're going to explore the positive and negative points of traveling alone versus traveling in a group. It's a fantastic topic not only for its real-world applicability, but also for the rich vocabulary and expressions it offers English learners.
And I'm Matthew. We're thrilled to have you join us again on your path to English fluency.
So, Matthew, let's kick things off with solo travel. What's the first thing that comes to your mind when you think about hitting the road by yourself?
Absolutely, the sheer autonomy of it. You set your own schedule, decide where to eat, what to see, and how long to stay. There's no need to compromise.
That's true. It's all about your pace, isn't it? If you want to spend 3 hours in a museum, you can. If you want to switch your plans last minute, you can do that too. That flexibility is a huge plus.
Exactly. And for me, another big positive is the opportunity for self-discovery. When you're alone, you're pushed out of your comfort zone. You have to rely on yourself, solve problems independently, and really get to know your own strengths and weaknesses.
I completely agree. It can be incredibly empowering. You build confidence by navigating unfamiliar places and overcoming small challenges on your own. It's a real confidence booster. I remember my first solo trip to Italy. I didn't speak a word of Italian, and I got hopelessly lost in Venice. But somehow, I managed to use gestures and a few broken English words to find my way back. It felt like winning the lottery.
That's a classic solo travel story. Plus, you're often more approachable when you're alone. People are more likely to strike up a conversation with a solo traveler than with a group. This can lead to some truly unique and authentic local interactions.
That's a great point. It opens doors to meeting new people, both locals and other travelers, which can enrich your experience immensely. You might end up sharing a meal with someone you just met or getting an insider tip on a hidden gem. I once shared a tiny table with a local family in a bustling market in Thailand. They didn't speak English, I didn't speak Thai. But we communicated perfectly through shared laughter and delicious food. It was an unforgettable experience.
But of course, it's not all sunshine and rainbows, is it? What are some of the downsides of traveling alone?
Well, the most obvious one for many is safety. Especially for female travelers or when visiting certain destinations, there can be increased concerns about personal safety. You have to be extra vigilant.
Definitely, and that ties into another point: loneliness. While you might meet people, there will inevitably be moments, especially during meals or in the evenings, where you feel a bit isolated. Not having someone to share those wow moments with can be a bit sad.
Absolutely. Imagine seeing an incredible sunset and not having anyone to turn to and say, "Wow, look at that." It can diminish the experience for some. And let's not forget the practicalities like splitting costs, accommodation, taxis, even some tours. They're often more expensive for a single person. I once paid double for a cooking class in Vietnam because there wasn't another solo traveler to pair up with. My wallet definitely felt lighter.
Oh, the single supplement, it's a real thing. And then there's the issue of documentation and emergencies. If something goes wrong, like losing your passport or getting sick, you're solely responsible for handling everything. It can be quite stressful. I remember a friend who got food poisoning in India while traveling alone. He literally had to crawl to the pharmacy. Not exactly the glamorous travel experience you dream of.
There's no one to lean on for immediate support or a second opinion in a tricky situation. It requires a higher level of preparedness and self-reliance. Now, let's shift gears and talk about group travel. Matthew, what are the immediate benefits that come to mind when you think about traveling with others?
The shared experience, hands down. Creating memories with friends or family, reminiscing about funny moments, that's invaluable. There's a built-in support system. I remember a trip with friends to climb Mount Kilimanjaro. There were moments of extreme struggle, but knowing we were all in it together, encouraging each other, made it an incredible bonding experience. We still laugh about the time our guide accidentally led us in a circle for an hour.
Oh, the joys of group adventures. Exactly. And from a practical standpoint, safety in numbers is a huge one. There's comfort in knowing you're not alone, especially in unfamiliar places. Plus, you can divide and conquer tasks like navigating, booking, or even just keeping an eye on luggage.
Absolutely. And let's not forget the cost effectiveness. Splitting the bill for accommodation, group discounts on activities, sharing food, it can significantly reduce the overall expenses per person. My group of friends once rented a huge villa in Tuscany for the same price as individual hotel rooms. We cooked together, swam together, and it felt like a home away from home.
That's a big draw for many. And think about the planning aspect. Often, tour groups or even just a well-organized group of friends will have a structured itinerary. This can take a lot of the stress out of planning for individual members. You just show up and enjoy.
That's a great point for those who find the logistics of travel overwhelming. Plus, the social aspect is huge. You're constantly surrounded by people you know, which means endless conversation, laughter, and inside jokes. My family once got on the wrong train in Japan. Instead of panicking, we all burst out laughing, made a funny video, and ended up having an unexpected adventure exploring a small, charming town we never would have seen otherwise. But as with solo travel, group dynamics can present their own set of challenges, can't they? What are some of the downsides of traveling in a group?
Oh, absolutely. The biggest one has to be the need for compromise. Everyone has different preferences for activities, food, sightseeing, and even wake-up times. This can lead to frustration and even arguments if not managed well. I once traveled with a friend who woke up at 5 a.m. every day to go jogging, while I'm more of a sleep in until 9 kind of person. It definitely created some scheduling clashes.
That's a common pitfall. The slowest walker, the earliest riser, the pickiest eater, someone inevitably has to adjust. And that can feel like a loss of your own travel experience.
Exactly. It can lead to a feeling of being herded if you're with a very organized group or a pre-planned tour. You might not get to explore things that genuinely interest you, as you're tied to the group's schedule.
And sometimes the sheer number of people can make things less efficient. Waiting for everyone to get ready, long queues for group tickets. Trying to keep track of everyone, it can slow things down considerably. I remember a group trip to a bustling market where we spent more time trying to find each other than actually shopping.
Definitely. And let's not forget the potential for internal conflicts. Even the best of friends can get on each other's nerves after extended periods together in close quarters. Travel can really test relationships. My sister and I once had a huge argument over directions in Rome. We laugh about it now, but at the time it felt like the end of the world.
That's very true. You see a different side of people when you're traveling together, and not always the most flattering one. And finally, there's the potential for less authentic local interaction. When you're in a group, you tend to stick to your own bubble, and locals might be less inclined to engage.
So, Matthew, after discussing both sides, what's your take on how someone should decide whether to travel solo or in a group?
I think it really comes down to personal preference and what you're hoping to get out of the trip. If you're looking for introspection, independence, and a challenge, solo travel might be for you.
And if you prioritize shared memories, security, and a more structured, perhaps less stressful experience, then group travel is probably a better fit. It also depends on the destination and the purpose of the trip. Some places are inherently safer or more enjoyable with company.
Exactly. A backpacking trip through Southeast Asia might lend itself well to solo travel, meeting people along the way, whereas a family vacation to a resort might be perfect for a group. And don't forget, you can always have a hybrid approach.
Oh, that's a great point. Tell us more about the hybrid approach.
Well, you could travel solo for part of your trip and then meet up with friends for another part. Or you could join a small group tour for specific activities, like a multi-day hike, but have free time for independent exploration.
That's an excellent way to get the best of both worlds. The independence when you want it, and the companionship and shared experiences when you need them. It's like having your cake and eating it too.
Wow, Jessica, that was a really comprehensive look at solo versus group travel. We've covered a lot of ground and explored some really practical insights.
We certainly have, Matthew. And for all our listeners out there, we know that some of the vocabulary and expressions we've used today might be new to you. That's why our vocabulary expert, Alex, will be joining us shortly to break down some of the key terms and phrases from today's discussion. You won't want to miss that.
So, to recap, whether you choose to travel solo or in a group, both offer unique advantages and disadvantages. Solo travel offers unparalleled freedom, self-discovery, and opportunities for local interaction. But it can come with challenges related to safety, loneliness, and cost.
On the other hand, group travel provides shared experiences, safety in numbers, cost effectiveness, and built in support. But it requires compromise, can lead to less flexibility, and sometimes internal conflicts.
Ultimately, the best choice depends on your personality, your goals for the trip, and the destination itself. Don't be afraid to try both and see what resonates most with you.
That's great advice, Matthew. And remember, every travel experience, whether solo or in a group, is a chance to learn, grow, and practice your English. We hope this discussion has given you some food for thought and helped you expand your vocabulary.
Thank you so much for tuning in to Speak English Journey. We love having you with us on this learning adventure.
Until next time, happy travels and keep practicing your English.
Goodbye for now.
Bye, everyone.